Okay.
Evening, Wendy. Evening, Alison. Evening, Tracy. Morning, Sally. Marmite, I hope. Happy New Year to you too. It's been a bit of a hectic one, really.
Yes.
Not exactly the start we had planned, but still.
Or the end.
Well, no, that too. There we go. Right. So, hi, Ellie. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Doris. Where's everybody just come from? Hi, Jill. Hi, Carol. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Angela. Yes, thanks, Alison. I'll send you a message in the morning when we open again. Okay, right, guys. Oh, did I say no to Janelle? The first thing I thought we'd do tonight is do the draw for. Why is this not straight? Is it me or is it this mat?
The blue mat's straight. The black mat wasn't.
Okay. The first thing that I thought we'd do is our draw for the December loaded pocket thingy. What's it? So I've just got to say before we start, Sandra Winder, you're an absolute star. Do you know that? I really hope you win tonight because you've entered every single one. I'm impressed. I know. I was just looking through tonight and I actually realised as well that I have got a whole load of things that people have posted to comment on. I don't know how I've not been in the group really. And it's just amazing what people have been posting. Really cool. So thank you. I will go back and have a good look and comment. Hi, Lorraine. Hi, Kirsty. Right, so here we go. So these are the entries for the December loaded pocket. I have to say, that was a really easy one. Why were there not more entries? Disappointed. Anyway. Tut. So can you have a... I've had a swirl. Can you just pick one out? Just stop making a meal of it. That one. Okay. All right.
Sort of.
Right. So who's won? I have to say there was a lot of members of the team entered this one. So if anybody's one that's a member of the team, I'm gonna have to do a second draw. So if it comes out and it's Wendy, just to let you know, she has won, but you know, she'll have to have a second go. Ah, Erica. Well done, Erica. Can you send me a message, Leslie? Can you send me a message, Erica, and tell me, would you like a calsummersworkshops post? Would you like a, hold on, rude mug? Or would you like a sensible mug? And let me have your address as well, please, if that's all right. And I will send that off to you. Right, okay. Right. So we're kind of between projects at the moment. And I was trying to think what to do. And Wendy said about doing one of the hardcover. I keep wanting to call it hardcore. I know that's not right. But that's what it's going to have to be from now on. A hardcore accordion book.
Cora's looking out of the...
Yeah, she had a sensible one. Look at that. Disappointed. Never mind. Yeah, so hard cover accordion book, and that's fine. It'll be lovely. We'll get that done tonight. No probs. However, hi Anne. However, I figured that was too easy. And one of the things that was said to me a lot last year, which I've totally and utterly ignored, as I am wont to do, is about decorating and like providing measurements for decorating and such like. So I thought what we'd do is we're going to kill two birds with one stone, and we're going to make this book up tonight, but starting next week we're going to decorate it, and we're going to decorate it together. Now I'm just warning you. Actually, I don't know if I should tell you this, because if I tell you this, you're going to rush off there and buy it, and won't be any left for me. Hang on. Let me just sort this out for a second, because I wanted to find some paper that had got a lot of like ephemera and stuff with it. So I thought that would be nice to use. I can't believe I've spent that much. That can't be right. And I thought, yes, I know, even out of the truckloads of paper that I've got, I haven't got, well, I have plans for. That's why it's not that I haven't got it, it's just that I've got plans for all the papers and things that that I can easily get to. So I thought, well, what has got loads of bits and pieces to it that we can use to like layer up, to cluster, to decorate? And I hate to say it, 49 and Market came to mind because, well, of course it did. Hold on, so let me log in, because I'm going to tell you what I'm going to use. So if you want to use the same, then you're going to have to go off and buy it. I'm going to tell you where I'm buying it from as well. You're going to have to go off and buy it as well. Or you're going to go, oh, I've got that and I don't know what to do with it. Come on, log in. And I don't want to like get it and then not. Why isn't this working? I'll talk about the best laid plans of mice and men. Max has been a pain in the butt today.
He's behind you.
Oh, hello, Max. So I'm thinking I'm going to use, why does this not want to let me log in? Me neither. I don't know. Hold on. So yeah, I'm thinking, oh, I'm in. Here we go. I'm thinking that I'm going to use 49 and Market. God. No, that's not the right one. I'll use PayPal. Moonlit Garden, which is one of the new ones, which I really like. So I thought I can decorate with that. And then I've got things like you know, the chipboard ephemera and stuff like that I can use, and we can make clusters, and yes, we can do, what do you call them, those paperclip thingies. We can do all sorts of bits and pieces like that. So why is life so difficult? Oh no, that's correct. So we'll use that. Right, so I'm going to use the 49 and Market Moonlit Garden, and I've got the 6x8 papers, the chipboard. Hold on, I'll tell you. The laser cut bits. So the Moonlit Garden 6x8 collection pack, the Moonlit Garden rub-on packs, because I am absolutely obsessed with those at the moment. chipboard bits, chipboard words, ephemera bits, and laser cut elements. And I got them from Hey Little Magpie. They have some. So there you go. Head over to Hey Little Magpie. If you want to do the same, then pick it up there. Okay, and I'll write a list of what I'm using. Where do I order it from, please? Well, that one I'm ordering it from Hey Little Magpie. I love Hey Little Magpie. Can you find me a link, darling, please? Mark, I'll put a link up for you. Run by an absolutely amazing lady called Sarah. And if you live up Warrington, Manchester way, she does an absolutely brilliant crop. I'm not showing anything, Diana. I was hiding my phone while I just did my purchase. No, I don't know. It was £3.75. Yeah. Yeah, so she does a great crop, but I will say it costs hours for the first couple of months of this year, but we'll let you off on that one. So anyway, hi Reka. So yeah, so I haven't got it yet. It'll probably come the day after tomorrow, knowing her. If you want quick service, Sarah's the girl. Okay, she's she's very, very quick, not like me at all. But yeah, Hey Little Magpie, and I've used 49 Market Moon Lit Garden, and it's the 6x8 pad that I'm going to be using. Okay, etc. Right. So what we need to do tonight is actually make up our base book. So I'm going to do this a little bit differently from normal, because when I first made this book, I just used that paper. So you can do that. I mean, if you're gonna want to use like 12 by 12 paper, you don't want to like build it up from a plain cardstock base, and you can absolutely do that. The only reason I'm doing it is because I want to decorate each page individually and show you how I do that. So that's my reasoning. So what we need to do is actually make our covers and then make the pages to go on it. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to be using 1500 micron grey board, which is it's kind of like the middleweight one. It's the one that I usually use for book covers, the 16th of an inch. But you can use the thinner one, the 1000 microns, which is how much, dear? Cereal packet with thickness. So you can use that too. Just stick a couple of pieces together or something. And now I'm saying that, I don't know where I don't know if I have got any grey board. I was making something up yesterday, and I think I might have used it all that I've got up here. Oh, what's that? Well, that's very thick. That's no good. Hang on. I bet you there's one in here. Oh, God. Nope. Oh, I had an advent calendar returned to me by the courier the other day. I had already resent it out actually when it arrived back, so it's not the end of the world. The customer did get it, but finally, after like 2 months of waiting, they returned mine to me. So I do have a spare advent calendar if anybody wants one. I never know what you're getting now. Oh, this is ridiculous. You might have to. We'll cut out the pages while you go and get me some middleweight grey board, if you wouldn't mind. Yeah, oh, there you go. Just reminded me of some down there in that green bag. It might be 12 by 12, but that doesn't matter. Just one sheet. Thank you. Tar. We need a corner in the wall that's got like loads of stock and stuff. Right. Okay. So we're going to start off. We're going to start off by cutting out our covers.
And put my shipping.
I don't know how much it was. It's not cheap. Although it's not as expensive as New Zealand and Australia have suddenly gone. I don't know what the heck's happened there. I'll tell you what, Anne. I'll find out for you. Let me find out for you. Because it does seem to change on a daily basis for some reason. I've never really quite understood. Right, so I'm going to cut 2 at 7 by 5 inches. And this is out of my grey board. So I'm cutting 2 at 7 by 5. Stay. That's going to slide off.
Yep.
Right. So now with my 2 covers, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover them with cardstock. Now on my original one, I actually covered with paper, but as I said, for the purposes of this, I'm going to cover it with just plain cardstock. And if you haven't made a book with me before, or you've not made a book, this would be a really simple one to start with, super simple one to start with. And I'm just going to go through, like, I can't remember who it was it Wendy said about the basics? So if we're making like a hardcover book, other than putting, you know, a spine in it, this would be very similar to how we'd make a hardcover book, just without a spine. It's spineless, in fact.
If I only had a spine.
Right, okay, so I've just put some double-sided tape just on there like that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that off and I'm going to cover each of these in, I'm going to use black cardstock, although actually I think white might be quite nice with Moonlit Garden. But I'm going to go for black because I end up with really filthy hands whatever I'm doing and it just all goes messy. So as beautiful as white would be, the papers have already sold out, or maybe I had the last one.
Yes, it did. I was going to put a link up to it. But...
Oh, well, just get some sheets of 12 by 12. You probably need, it depends how many pages you put in your book, but if you make the same amount as me, which is going to be 4 pages, you could probably get away with 5 or 6 sheets of 12 by 12, and I know that Sarah sells it individually. So you could, if you get 5 or 6 sheets of 12 by 12, that would definitely do. Or I think the 12 by 12 pack is the same price as the 6 by 8. It's just that the 6 by 8 has loads and loads and loads of paper in it. Well, it's probably the same amount of paper, it's just cut smaller. I don't know actually. This is when I wish I had nails. Oh man.
Ruth says hello from Arizona.
Oh, hi Ruth. Right, so I'm going to get my paper and I'm going to put that pretty much so it's got an equal space around there. I'm going to cut that down in a minute, and I'm going to do the same to the other one as well. Is it warm in Arizona, Ruth?
I'm hunting out that paper now. Mad Scrapper has some, Paper Maze has.
Oh, I should be on commission.
You should.
Oh, If I was on commission, I could get my nails done. Actually, I don't think that would help.
60 at the moment.
What?
In Amazon.
Oh, that's not too bad.
And wet. Well,
Oh, well, yeah, it is here as well. We've got flooding and all sorts. It's a good job we live on top of a hill. Okay, so we've just taken up the entire class pulling bits of paper off the back of double-sided tape. Right. Let's pop that on there. Excellent. And let's just cut this down a little bit. I'm going to have, well, near enough the same all the way around. Okay. Right. Now, I have lost all of my knives and all of my scissors. I do not know why or how I'm using these scissors. Did you buy me these?
yes, I did.
That's how bad things are. I'm having to resort to my posh scissors. And I'm just going to mitre the corners like this, not all the way up to the edge.
Not your banner, though.
No, I had it. I've got a little one. It's not my little boner. I don't know where. Everything is just, I don't know where anything is. Mind you, if you see the state of this place, I think you'd understand why. It's getting me down now. Right. So let's fold that over. I've lost it already. There it is. And I'm going to glue this round. Now, when I'm gluing stuff like this, I need it to glue quickly, but not too quickly. So what I like to do is put a little piece of double-sided tape that goodness knows why, because I can't get it off my flipping fingers, and I'm going to glue. So look, I have been remembering, and I've just done a whole massive project with this. Not getting clogged up because I didn't lose my pin, although I am nearly out of glue.
So you could do with a cracker shop nearby.
I could, couldn't I? That would be really good. Well, I know where to go for glue. Okay, so that is folded over like that, and I'm just going to make sure that it's stuck down well. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same on the other. So we'll fold it over. Crease it to make sure that it's in the right place. Glue. Right, now I am going to show you how I do my corners, because There's a million and one ways to do it. I've never found a perfect infallible way, but this is as good as it gets. So I'm just taking my bone folder and I'm just creasing there so that I can see exactly where the edge of my grey board is. And if you can see, I hope you can see, because it looks like you can see, looking at the screen here, you can see that that has kind of made a mark, so you can see right where the edge is. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my scissors. Do tell, what am I missing out on? What am I missing out on, Diana? Right. So where that mark is that I've just made, I'm going to snip up like that. I'm opened it up, and now I'm going to do like a shallow cut up to that edge, okay? Now, this generally works without me exposing a whole lot of grey board, because what you don't want is to have a whole load of grey board at this end when you fold it over that you see. Oh, I can't. Sorry. Can't. Not yet. Can't tell you about the big project that I've been working on.
Oh.
I've been on a deadline. I haven't had a deadline for years. I've been on a deadline. I know you know. What is it? I love the sound. I love deadlines. I love the sound that they make as they whoosh on past. Oh, I think it's funny. All right, so I've done that. So now, if I fold this over, in theory, I shouldn't have, when I fold it, I shouldn't have any grey board showing at those corners. And I've got really nice corners there. That works for me. Okay, there's a million and one ways of doing it, but that's the best way I find. Of course, if you cut it wrong, it's not the end of the world, because all you need to do is grab your Sharpie and just yeah, dab on the end, and you've covered it up. So if you have got some exposed grey board, that's what I do. I love Sharpie pens. I've got the biggest Sharpie in the world, which was a gift from Karen McGinnigal's husband, which is a whopper. But I always forget my Sharpies when I go out. It's usually David who comes to my rescue. I have a collection of David Sharpies. But I like Sharpies. They're great. I should take out shares in Sharpies, really. Okay, so in theory, what I've got here is a nice sharp corner. So you can see I've got my nice sharp corners there and no grey showing. So that's kind of worked out quite well. You, the relief. Right, okay, so that's that one. Now I'm going to do the same on the other. Oh, crikey, I've just remembered something. I've forgotten to reply to somebody about something. Somebody asked me about the spice, decorating the spice album that I did. And I have to go back to my messages and have a look and see who it was. I'm going to upload all of the pictures to the class folder. I need to do that. Will you remind me? I know it wasn't Alison. Alison asked me to post to see what it looked like, which I've done. I hope you've seen that, Alison. But I haven't uploaded them to the OneDrive, which I need to do. Yeah, I might have done it. I can't remember. I have no idea. I may have done it already. It just popped into my head.
Cat and Cows is on YouTube from the rainy Netherlands.
Oh, thank you, Ruth. I'd forgotten about that as well, even though I did write that down in my new notebook. Yes, that's what I was just talking about. Right. Have you written down about spice pictures?
Spice pictures.
Yeah. Can you write down Ruth as well? Yeah. I know what we're talking about.
She is written there.
Thank you.
I think that's spelled it right.
I hope so.
Oh.
Yeah, that's one. And heaven help me if I don't remember it now.
Well, I'll remind you immediately. You remember?
Right, where's my pin? There we go. See how good I'm getting at this now. It's amazing how much that saves you in terms of glue. Right, so I've got my two covers, okay? Nice and simple. There we go. Right, now, you can make as many pages as you want for this. I'm going to make 4, just because 4's a nice round number. And making 4 will give me 10 surfaces to work on, okay? Not counting the outside covers. So I am going to cut my pages, but I'm going to cut them with a little gusset because A, it's us and why not? And B, because we're going to be talking about decorating and I don't really want a crock gob or a huge crock gob unless I have to have one. So I'm going to just make a little gusset. So I'm going to cut 4 pages. It's up to you how many you cut. You can cut as many as you like. It doesn't matter. And they're all going to be exactly the same. Okay. But I am going to cut 4. That's 7 5/8. So that's 7.5 plus 1/8. 7 5/8 by 5 inches. And I want 4 of those. So 7 5/8 by 5. And I'm cutting that 4 times. So 7 5/8 by 5. Now, with my book, this is 7 is, I'm doing it landscape, which is this way round. Okay. So 7 is the width of each page and 5 is the height. You could do it that way. There's no reason why it can't open that way. It's entirely up to you. So each of these pages, we're now going to score the same way. Now, Jane was asking about scoring and getting measurements right and getting a accurate score. And I am going to tell you, Jane, that anybody who tells you that's easy is talking rubbish. And there will always be differences. And this is what I've discovered. This is my reasoning behind saying that. It's the big thing is your tools. Okay. It's rarely user error, in my opinion. It's often about the tools that you use. Now, I've got 2 scoreboards. I've got this EK Tools one. I don't even know why I'm looking around for the other one because God knows. The other one that I use, which is the one that I've had for ever since I started bookmaking, is a Martha Stewart. And I like them both the same. They're both great. obviously they've got ridges in them, and I think, as far as I can remember, the ridges are pretty standard. But I'm going to show you something. Look at the state of this board. Okay, it's gunky, it's dirty, it's got little bits of black card in it, it's got dust, it's got stuff I've spilt from my teacup, you name it, it's got stuff in it. Also, if you use like one of my big boners or the little boners, or actually even the one that I'm using at the moment, which is Teflon, you will see that over time, because these are all kinds of plastic, oh, I don't know, is Teflon a plastic? Yeah, there we go. Right, the use changes the size. Okay, so this is my trusty Teflon bone folder, but here you can see that where I've used it, it's become marked and it is not straight. It doesn't really matter so much with a bone folder unless it's become sharp, but it's not straight. It's not, I mean, look at the state of that, really, but it works just great for what I use it for. What I'm saying is over time, plastic with constant use changes its shape. Okay, so it might be your board is dirty, you've got something in it, whatever, it's old, so it's become worn. When you get your board, as you can see here, this came with a little yellow plastic scoring tool, which I used and then realised that this was a complete and utter waste of time because it quickly got damaged because it's plastic. That's what happens. So my preference is always to use one of these metal embossing tools. Okay. Now this one is slightly wider on one end and thinner on the other. And I like to use the bigger end. However, that's not, shut up. I know exactly where you're going. I just know. Yeah, you're not wrong. Okay, so I like the thicker. Thanks. I like the thicker end, but it doesn't really fit. I mean, just listen to that. You can hear where it's worn, but it doesn't really fit into the groove. My thick end doesn't fit into the groove terribly well. I can't believe where this is going. The thinner one does. The thinner one fits in quite nicely, but if you're a little bit heavy-handed like me, you can easily put your thingy right through the what's it right through. So I'm going to show you, right, I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. This is my thick end, all right, so I'm going to just score at 1/2 inch, and I've just managed to do it with that one. And now I'm going to score at 1/2 inch with my thin end, and that hasn't gone through, which is great. But can you see the wobble? So my thick end has almost gone through my paper, and my thin end has got a wobble on it. So what I'm saying is, okay, that probably was user error, but also I'm going to be a workman who blames my tools, and I'm going to say that tools have a part in it as well. So I think that a lot of issues with scoring is down to the tools. That would be my view. And other than buying a new scoreboard and embossing tool with every project, which is never going to happen, sadly. We've got a shop, by the way. It's never going to happen. So, you know, it's a difficult one, but that would be my feeling on that. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to get on with this book and we're going to score. So for our pages, and they're all exactly the same, so it doesn't matter how many you have cut, we're going to score on the 7 5/8 of an inch side. So that's 7 5/8 inch at the top. Okay, and just so you know, because I'm taking this right back to basics, if you look at my cutting guides, I always write the width first. So it's the width and then the height. I don't know if everybody does it like that, but that's what I do. Okay, so you're going to get the 7 and the 5/8, which is the width, and then the 5 is the height. Okay, and I will always tell you which side to score on. So if I say you're scoring on the 7 and 5/8 of an inch side, that means you put the piece of card or whatever, which is 7 and 5/8 of an inch at the top, okay, along the top. So if I said score on the 5-inch side, I'd want you to put it that way. However, for this one, I want you to score on the 7 and 5/8 inch side, and I want you to score at 1/2 inch, and I want you to score at 5/8 of an inch, which is going to give you that little tiny 1/8 of an inch gusset. Okay. And I'm going to do the same on all of them. So I'm going to score at 1/2 inch, and I'm going to score at 5/8 of an inch. Okay. Right, and I said I'm only doing 5 at 4. So I'll leave it there. Okay, so let's put that away. Now, the other bit of user error is also joyful, and I'm going to show you where that comes in and why this is much of a solution is also a problem. Okay, because here's one I made earlier, right? So I've got my lines here. I've got my thick line and I've got my thin line. Now I know that if you are a card maker, there is a very specific way to fold. And I believe, and I could be wrong, that you fold on the, well, you've got two sides. You've got your mountain side, which if you look at this bit is the uppy bit, and you've got your valley bit, which is the bit that goes in. So your valley is where you've actually had your scoring tool. Okay, now tell me if I'm wrong, but I think you fold it on the valley side so that the mountain is in there. Is it the opposite way around to whichever way you think is logical? However, I'm just going to tell you, I really don't think it matters. It doesn't bother me. I'm going to get shot now. I'm going to get cancelled for saying that, aren't I? It doesn't bother me. I don't care. Whatever you like. But I do tend to fold that way round into my mountain fold. Okay. Now this is where you also get issues because I've just folded that, and I'm going to use my bone folder, and I'm going to burnish that within an inch of its life. And I know that by doing that, I've now stretched the fibres in mountain in. Oh yes, I did it right then. Yeah, bury the bump. Oh, I like that, Vicky. Nice one. It does, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, so I know that's the way I do it, but just that much. It's up to you. Anyway. Good point, Ruth. Ruth says do it the same way all the way through. She's quite right, it does. But I think, I don't know. Do you have like a personal preference for it? My preference is just personally to fold away from the valley's already been stretched, so I'd fold away from it, if that makes sense. In my head, that makes sense. Which is apparently the right, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, do it the same way. Because it does make a difference. Because I've just folded and burnished that, and I guarantee you it's not necessarily straight. And you can see because my paper, my card's crinkled a bit here. It's not as flat as it could be. And also because here, where I pushed a little bit too hard, that's had an impact on the way that it folds. And sometimes if your thick end is too thick, it'll fold on different sides of your score. So just say, for instance, right, I don't know if you can see this here. If you see my score line, I'll use this one. You can see this score line here, and it's got like the inside and the outside of the score line. Okay, and if it's a thick score line, you can end up folding on one side and it ends up on the other side when you get down the bottom. So you've kind of like, you've got this really, really, really long inverse fold thing, which means that your top might be bigger or smaller than your bottom. And that is something that does seem to happen a lot. And I'm not entirely sure what you can do about it, other than, like I said, get new tools every time. So I've just folded the thinner side, and for me, I've got a much better fold there. That just seems a whole lot smoother, even though it doesn't. I like the thicker, and you know what I mean. So that end seems to that thinner edge does seem to work a little bit better than that thicker edge in terms of getting everything the same. So that's my thoughts on the matter. So anyway, we've now got our pages, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold on each page on that fold there, and I'm going to fold twice. So I'm going to fold once on each fold. I'm being super careful here because we've been talking about this. Okay, so if I fold there and there, I've now got that little gusset that sits like that. Okay, and I'm going to do the same again on all of them. So I'm folding that, and I'm going to burnish. Okay, so I've got my little gusset again there. So I'm folding and I'm burnishing. And the last one, like that. Okay. So I've got my 4 pages with my little gussets. Now, this is going to be an accordion book, which means that these pages are going to form an accordion. So you're going to have one join here, one join here, like that, and one join there, like that. So it goes. There we go. It goes in a zigzag, like that.
Says hello.
Hi, Jen. So it goes in a zigzag like that. Okay. So if I start off with one, I'm going to open up and I'm going to put some glue on the inside. No, I'm not. Ignore that. That's going to go that way round. Okay. So I'm going to grab a second one and I'm going to put some glue on the inside of that there. I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to pop that on there up to that score line. So I've got now one big long page that folds like that. So I've got one fold here at the outside, and then that now folds round like that. Okay, it joins up there in the middle like that. Okay, I'm going to take my next page, I'm going to open that up, I'm going to put some glue on there like that. And I'm going to add that in there like that. So that is going to sit It really help. I try to take my glasses off because I can't see. Up to that score line like that. So now I've got that zigzag like that, and I've just realised that I have actually done this wrong. We're going to have an extra page. I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to leave that for purposes inside. And I'm just going to cut one extra page, which is going to be, so you're going to have to cut one of these. So it's going to be by 5 inches. which is the height. Hold on, 7 5/8 plus a half. It's 8 1/4. So 5 by 8 1/4. I'll change the cutting guide because we're going to need one with these gussety things at both ends. Where's my? Oh, I don't know how this can keep happening. I just genuinely. Oh, there it is. Right, so I'm going to score on one end at 1/2 and 5/8, and then I'm going to score on the other end at 7 5/8. See what I mean about it being curly? 7 5/8 and 7 3/4. So what you've got is these bits at both ends. So you've got a 1/2 inch on either end, and then you've got. Yeah, it's already on YouTube. It'll be going in the OneDrive eventually, probably when it's all finished.
What GSM card?
Well, I'm using what we call 3 sheet, which is about 180. Although my wholesaler has now decided it's 240, but it flipping isn't. They seem to have had a change of mind and say it's 240, but it's not that thick. I think it's like 180, 200. It's much thinner than that. So it's the same thickness as 3 sheets of paper, of copy paper, basically. Right, so this one I've folded one way and one the other. So here's my book, and I'm going to put this like that. So the same way, which means that I've just got flaps on either end. So we're doing exactly the same with that one. So now you can see I've got my accordion pieces. Right. Oh, what am I doing? Oh no, that's the one that I've just chucked, isn't it? Right, so what I'm going to do now is I've got my covers, and I'm going to take one end of the accordion, now if you've got an odd number of pages, you're going to have your ends on opposite sides. If you've got even numbers of pages, your end is going to be on the same side, if that makes sense. So I put glue on there, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to attach it right to the edge of my hardcover. Okay, so that goes on there like that. Okay, fold that up, and then because this is even, this is going to be on the same end, so I'm going to put some glue on that. And I'm going to attach that like that on that end. Okay. So that is how the accordion book goes together. Okay. And you can see I've got my little gussets here, so that I can put some nice little bits of dimension in there. Obviously, if you want to put lots of dimension in there, do your gussets a 1/4 of an inch. It's entirely up to you. If you're only going to put photos in it and you're going to keep it quite flat, don't put a gusset in at all. It's entirely up to you. But that is just a really simple accordion book, and I've done it 5 by 7 because it will fit standard size 6 by 4 in it, if that makes sense. So that's all I want to do for tonight. Oh yeah, Linda, it's always here, darling. It doesn't go away. So you can watch it on YouTube or in Paper Scissors Story as often as you need to. It doesn't go away. And then when we're done, I'll be putting it in OneDrive as well, so you've got 3 opportunities to see it. Okay, so yeah, no worries. It'd be nice to have you join in. Last piece we cut again. Right, it was 5 by 8 1/4. It was 5 by 8 1/4 Kari, and I scored on the 8 1/4 inch side at half, 5/8, 7 5/8, and 7 3/4. Okay. Right. I think that will do for this evening. Well, it'll have to because I haven't got any paper. I'm waiting for that to come. So next week, hopefully, I'll have my moonlit garden and we can get on and we'll do some base decorating, but we're also going to talk about different sorts of pockets and flaps that we can add to it, so that you can kind of customize it and make it your own. So I'm going to go off and just update that cutting guide now with the last piece, and we will see you back here on Wednesday. We've got crop on Saturday if anybody wants to come along in Dunstan in Staffordshire, but I think that's about it, isn't it? Yeah. Cool. All right then, guys. Thanks ever so much for joining us. Hi, Maxine. And we will see you. Yes, flaps, Lorraine. How can I not? And we'll see you when? Next Wednesday. All right then. See you soon. Bye.
Oh.